Well, I just put a bunch of little tasks for the writing section into Asana, but I wanted to do this quick video so I can kind of explain it to you also, and you have a reference. Currently, when the user logs in, they land on the student roster page. When you select a student, you go to the Reading Center, right? And then you have to hit this Go to Writing Center in order to flip the user interface to display the Writing Center. Okay, what we want to do is when the user selects a student, we want it to default to the Writing Center, but still be able to get back to the Reading Center by hitting the Reading button. So so that's what's going to. I think that makes sense. There's a bunch of changes that we need to make to the Writing Center's homepage. But first, you'll notice on the student roster here, there's an X. We've X'd out the iReal Challenge teacher resource, that button. We're going to move that button over to the bottom of the over to the bottom of the Reading Center's page. Okay, and the pop-up that pops up when you select it on the student roster page, that will now same pop-up will pop up. It's this here. Will pop up anytime you're in the. You'll have access to that button when you're in the Reading Center, because all of this stuff that's in this pop-up is all the information listed here is for the Reading Center specifically. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're moving this button onto the bottom of the Reading Center, but we're going to stack it. So the Edit Student Profile button will go above it, and then the IBC Writing Resources, or Reading, it'll say Reading Resources. But they'll be stacked like this. Okay, so you may have to move the word student up and maybe shrink this down a bit and move it up. Just make it look clean and evenly spaced and all that. Then when you land on the Student's Writing Center, which is now the default page, and again, I'm listing all this stuff. I'm enumerating each of these steps, but I want you to hear me say it too so you're understanding, you're really clear. Currently, the top of this page says Writing. I'd like to add the word Center. So Writing Center, capitalize the C and Center, and obviously line it up. I think the font that you're currently using is slightly smaller than this. Please make it about this size. I don't know, it looks like maybe 30% larger than what you currently have font-wise. That's A. B is Students Writing Center should be in Braille font. That text should be in Braille font. Okay, so C is the button that used to say Go to Reading Center. Just truncate that down to the word Reading, so the button's really small, and move it off to the right. Okay, and that again, this will be the default page. This will be the default page, but if the person wants to go to the Reading Center, they'll click just this Reading button. Let's see. D, there's in this header, in this dark gray header, it said, I think, Reading, Placement, and Challenge. We're going to change that. Why is this all fucking blue? Hold on. Sorry. Anyway, we're going to change the text that's in this should just say Placement and Challenge, like Placement ampersand sign and Challenge. Just those words in SimBraille. That's D. E is this little information button. Move that, justify it all the way to the right. So that's E. Justify that. Actually, justify both of these so they're one right above each other. Okay, at the end of this gray part. F. There's something that says Writing Scorecard. There's the button there, and then down below it says Writing Challenge or Challenge Scorecard. Delete this second button, the one that says Challenge Scorecard. That goes away for the writing only, just on the writing side of the app on this page. And then, but in the above it says Placement Scorecard. Remove Placement, just make it Scorecard so that that button is small. Okay. and then try to line up the reading button, the information button, and this purple button kind of, I don't know, aesthetically clean. So that's F. G, it is a little trickier. Currently it says writing placement and writing challenge. What we need to do is this needs to say placement in SimBraille, and then the word placement will be in alphanumeric regular English right next to it. So this says placement in SimBraille, this says placement in English, exactly how it's shown. This says challenge in SimBraille, and this says challenge in English. So it's just, we're showing it first in Braille and then in alphanumeric. As cleanly as you can, just do it like that. I'll explain more later. But when VoiceOver is turned on, we want it to ignore the word placement and the word challenge and the word blanking word. These, in whatever way you've done it in the past, mask those so VoiceOver fucking ignores them altogether. They're just visual, and we can't have it coming in over the audio or through the Braille display. So mask those in whatever way you do. So that's G. Since I don't know how to, it says G. H, yeah, so it goes from G to F. Anyway, student, if you can make that in SimBraille also, it's just that student is actually the student's name that the teacher will put in at the edit student profile page, but it just needs to display in SimBraille. So I don't know what happened with the lettering system here, but whatever. That's H. Down here at G, so we're going backwards now in the alphabet. This is the Teacher Resource Center button that appears on the student roster page. You'll see it here. We moved it here and then moved the Edit Students Profile up one. So these will both be kind of sandwiched at the bottom of the page. When you launch this, all of this needs to be in SimBraille. All of this needs to be in SimBraille, and they don't have, because the writing side we haven't created this yet. We haven't created the links to these pages and what these pages are going to be in the writing section yet. Just this pop-up will suffice for now. I'll come back to you with what goes in each of these pages. Again, so we've moved the reading section pop-up, this Teacher Resource Center, from the student roster page. We've moved it into the reading center, right? The blue, the reading center, because all of those in the first iteration applied to just the reading center. We're gonna have a whole new set of stuff that comes up in this pop-up on the writing section, okay? And this all needs to be in SimBraille. And then all the text down here on these buttons need to be in SimBraille. So I hope this makes sense. I'm gonna post this, and I'll also type it up, and that will correspond to these letters, and I'll fix this fucking lettering system, so sorry about that. And let me know if you have any questions. Also, one more thing. When the teacher selects a student from this page, they select a student. When it advances to this page, to the Writing Center, audio needs to mute. So the audio of the device will auto mute. Okay, man, I think that's it. I'm going to start keying all this stuff in. Hopefully this is enough. All right, bye.